If you're still paying 20, 30, 50 Rand plus for leads in 2025, you're probably burning money that doesn't need to be burnt. So I'm Namisi and I've spent 1,000 plus hours building AI systems for businesses, and more specifically in the past 7 months I've built AI systems which are able to generate 250 leads within the first 6 days of being live across multiple industries. But the case study which I'm going to be showing you in this video is just a bit different. So I'll be breaking down the full system architecture on a mirror board, and we'll go really in depth into every single phase of this AI powered lead generation system. I'll explain why traditional lead generation in 2025 isn't going to cut it anymore, and I'll be giving you the full system architecture, and you can apply it to any industry which you're in to generate leads at prices from 6 Rand to 40 Rand. That's how powerful the system is. It's industry agnostic. So if you're new to this channel and don't know who I am, I'm Namisi, and I help small business owners see the real critical places where AI can be implemented for the biggest impact into their businesses. I really look at AI systems which can really revolutionize the way businesses do things and are not just nice to haves. And on this channel I share literally everything I learn from my own client projects and the case studies and the results, and I almost just show you what is possible when AI is done right, all on this channel. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video and break down the system. So here we've got a couple of things on this mirror board, and I'm really going to get into depth in a couple of them and just show you how this AI system is really changing the way people do lead generation, right? I'll kind of show you a brief overview of the system architecture, like the actual implementation of it, but then I'll just give you an overview of how you can apply it to any single industry to generate leads at prices which are ridiculous. So we can start here at the industry reality. Here's where the current industry reality is, right? Most businesses are currently paying anywhere from 30 to 50 Rand per lead, and when you compare it with a cost like 6 Rand, that 34, that 44 Rand difference really starts to add up when you're generating hundreds of leads for your business, right? And there's really a fundamental flaw with the way people are doing lead generation currently, and it's there's no immediate value offered to the clients and your potential leads, right? When you add value to the clients, they're more incentivized to sign up, but the thing about adding value is it either takes up your time or it takes up your money, or it's just really not feasible when you've got hundreds of leads coming to you saying or wanting this free value that you're offering, right? And then also when we just look at it, why lead generation isn't really very good right now is because 40% of that is due to high costs. When you're paying like 30 to 50 Rand, and even sometimes more depending on the industry, that's just not sustainable, and the return on your investment just really starts to diminish. And then 30% is due to poor conversion. If you don't have this correct system set up to convert your leads, then you're basically burning money. Like, you've got all that potential revenue coming into the door, but if you don't have the conversion mechanisms in place to convert those leads into customers and clients, then yeah, you're just literally putting money on fire right now. We've also got 20% of poor lead generation due to inconsistent lead flow, where if you've got times where leads are coming in, it's great. You've got other times where it's bad. That's probably one of the biggest bottlenecks for most businesses. It's just that inconsistent lead flow. How are you supposed to scale when your foundation isn't really up to par? How are you supposed to get more employees when you don't know if you can pay all those employees? So if you don't have customers knocking on your door, there's no future for your business, and that's just how things work. So that's 20% inconsistent lead flow, and you also got 10% no nurturing sequence. If you don't have a nurturing sequence which can really move every single lead, the ones which aren't ready to buy, into a position where they're ready to buy, they understand your product and they know that you're the right people to help them get where they need to be, then you're probably also just leaving money on the table, like your poor conversions. That should actually add to the poor conversions. If that process is not set up, then you're just literally leaving leads on the table right now. So this is the traditional lead gen funnel, right? And this funnel is fundamentally broken. You've got 1,000 impressions, right? You've got your ads, you're paying for them. You get your 50 clicks, and then you get your 2 to 3 leads, yeah? This drop-off is crazy, right? That's a crazy drop-off, and then the leads which you're getting there is 2 to 3, 4,000 impressions. That's not very good. That's like 1%, a bit more than 1% impressions, but yeah, that's just entirely really not good, when you've got solutions out there which are working right now that flip this all on its head. And that's what I'm going to show you in this video. And this is like the current methods which people are using to generate leads, and more specifically you can talk about specific industries, but it works across industries. So you've got referrals, seminars, social media posts, and each of them have their drawbacks. Referrals, they're inconsistent. Seminars, you have to really give a whole lot of your time, prepare for them and everything like that, and it's not guaranteed that you'll get sign-ups or people who actually come to you and want to buy your product. I'm actually speaking to my client who I built this whole system for, and he does seminars to kind of advertise what he does. And literally, people will love his seminars, love what he has to say. But at the end of it, when he's saying, "Hey, who wants to sign up to my course?" Crickets. No one signs up, and he's left. Literally invested all that time traveling, all that money traveling, and for no leads. That's why seminars are a bit of a drawback, but they can work if the variables are right. I've also got social media posts. Social media is hard. It's very hard to be in the algorithm's favor. It's hard to stay consistent, and all in all, it's a great lead generation source, but it has to be paired in conjunction with a different lead generation source. And this is just great. It's a great one to have as a foundation for your lead generation. So you've also got your occasional ads right here. You've got your Meta ads, you've got your Google ads, you've got your TikTok ads, all of them. These platforms are great for advertising your product, but if they're not set up in a way that can generate you more leads, you probably just go back to the 30 to 50 Rand cost per lead, which is literally leaving money on the table. So now I want to show you the complete AI system overview, right? This is the whole thing which is going to change everything for you, and you can kind of apply to any single industry. It doesn't really matter. It's agnostic. You just need to tailor specific parts to the specific industries, right? So you've got your traffic source. That's fundamental for any lead generation system. The traffic source in this case, for the system which I've built out, is Meta ads. You can also do Google ads, TikTok ads, any type of ads. And then we've also got the AI system, which basically changes everything here. This is how you're going to get your 6 Rand per lead, and this is how you're going to get 180 qualified leads all automatically without you having to lift a single finger. And something which is just ridiculous right now. So the AI system is basically like the hub of this thing. This is how you're going to personalize your emails. This is how you're going to personalize your lead magnets. This is how you're going to nurture people. Let them know that you're the correct people to get the job done, to solve their specific challenge, right? And then this AI system feeds into 3 distinct pillars, right? You've got the nurture sequence engine, you've got the qualification system, and you've got the sales pipeline. And all of those produce leads on autopilot for you. And not just leads, because leads are nice to have. Anyone can generate leads, but more specifically qualified leads, right? So now let's jump more in depth into the 3 pillars of this AI system, right? We've got 3 pillars here. We've got pillar 1, which is hyper-personalized lead magnets, pillar 2, which is intelligent nurture sequences, and pillar 3, we've got lead qualification and scoring. So AI basically is the brain behind this whole thing, and it's what basically enhances these lead magnets with the context which is provided to you and on your Facebook lead forms, right? So AI is going to look at all this information, it's going to analyze it, and it's going to position your offer, your product in a way that can cut through all the noise and let every single prospect know that you're the person to help them out here, like I've said. So for example, the lead magnets that I've created in the past and the lead magnets which have gotten these results here, I'm going to get back to them, don't worry, is we've got 2 clients, right? The first client was like a real estate lead MVP, did for myself, and the lead magnet was free property valuations, right? Usually that can take a long time to produce property valuations based on specific suburbs, specific locations, house sizes, and everything like that. You're going to have to do research and everything and put it into a nicely formatted PDF and everything and send that out. So that process can take long, and people don't want to really wait for evaluation. They want it now. That is the expectation of things in 2025. You know, you go on to Uber Eats, you can get your food delivered to you within 20 minutes. People expect speed, right? So we use AI to basically create that lead magnet for them and send it off automatically. And in the next client case, we created free study guides, right, that are basically tailored specifically to specific challenges which are surfaced in these lead forms. And that's just type of value that we're offering upfront and for free and at pace, right? And then we've got pillar 2. We've got an intelligent nurture sequence, right? There's 3 components to this pillar. You've got the sequences designed for each lead. So once they've got the lead magnet, they're now entered into a nurture sequence. Like I said, pillars here is the no nurture sequence, or the kind of industry reality of like what the drawbacks are of lead generation. There's no nurture sequence. So this is how we're going to rectify that challenge. We use designed sequences for each and every single lead. So say for the study skills thing and the study guide thing, if one person was a grade 7 learner who was struggling with mathematics, and the next person was a grade 11 learner struggling with physical science. Their sequences are going to be completely different. And to do that for every single lead in the past was basically unfeasible. And it's just out of the picture. But now, in the world of AI and automation, this is what's possible, and this is how you can cut through the noise. So those are the sequences designed for each and every single lead. So next we've got the behavior analytics, right? It's great to have these leads being nurtured, but then how do you know which ones are ready to buy? Why would you just let them go cold when they're showing signals that they're interested in your product and they really want to take the next step? So that's where the behavior analytics come in, and we get AI to analyze all of that and provide recommendations on who to reach out to, and it can also do that automatically. Yeah, but yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Yeah, and the next point is that there's also multiple touch points, right? Leads will be getting contacted on multiple platforms and in multiple cadences. So say they opened the first email, the lead magnet, and it's been a couple of days, we'll hit them with another email that's personalized. Say they open the link that was sent in that follow-up email, we're going to hit them up with another email. And that's just kind of how you move them towards a buying decision. So in pillar 3, I think the most important one here, we've got the lead qualification and scoring. And scoring is essential because if you have all these leads, you need to know which ones are the ones that you want to actually spend your time on and actually follow up on. So we've got the scoring dashboard, and this is basically the lifeline of the whole system. Without it, you'll basically be flying blind. You don't know which leads are ready to buy now. And this dashboard is basically like a whole overview, so you can see the whole pipeline and see where everyone is in their particular stages. And then we've got AI qualification. So the AI is going to analyze all of these behavioral analytics, and it's going to qualify these leads for you. It can do this through, it can basically send them out SMSs. You've got voice agents. This is actually what I did with the real estate one, is we got voice agents to qualify the leads and basically give them a call saying, hey, how did you find the lead magnet, etc., etc. Are you interested? And that's just kind of the space where things are at right now. And we've also got the automated lead handover. So once the system flags that this person is qualified, hands them over, and you can do the conversion because I don't think AI is in the place to actually do converting right now. So before we get into the next section, where I'll show you the whole ROI, all of the numbers, the crazy numbers actually, of what the system can really produce in any industry, for matter of fact, is if you want help implementing a system like this in your own business, in any industry, please hit the second link in the description down below, where you can book your free AI strategy session call, where you can look at how something like this can work for your particular business. So that being said, let's get into the real case studies and real results. So the client, this is my client one, this is an online study skills coach, and he basically teaches students how to do better in class by learning how to actually study. So this was after, I think, six days, yeah. So we've got 3 purchases, and per purchase is 400 Rand. Not the best. So then we're doing something clever here. So the people who visited the landing page, who didn't convert, we retarget them. But this retargeting is where everything changes, right? So they've showed interest in your business, and there's that level of interest, but we need to peak it a bit. Because maybe they saw the product and they thought, hey, maybe this is not for me, maybe it won't work. So in this retargeting, we basically say, hey, we saw that you checked out our course. Maybe instead of just say what we're good at, we can give you a free thing so you can implement it for yourself and see the results which are coming your way. And people love free stuff. Think about it. If you go to the shops, they give you a free sample. You're like, wow, this is great. How can I get more of that? That's exactly what we're doing here. And that's how you can get 180 leads at a cost of 5 Rand 20. Not even 6 Rand, 5 Rand 20 in 6 days. And they all enter the nurture sequence, where every single one of them is going to have their own nurture sequence, which is tailor-made for them. So you could have 180 different sequences, all in 6 days alone. Let me remind you. So then I've also got my personal MVP for real estate, and this was basically to make sure that the system works. I put my money on the line here to basically validate that people want these things, people actually care about these things, and you can generate leads at ridiculous prices. And this was me basically testing everything out here and just basically going through it. You can see I've got 5 tests here and spending 900, 400, 200, 300 just to make sure that these systems actually work. And you see, they do, because from this I learned so much, and I was basically able to refine this client one's initial approach, and that's how we were able to get these many leads in 6 days, because I did the testing. I put my money where my mouth is. So yeah, you can see the leads here. We've got 42 leads at a price of 48 Rand. And now let's break down the ROI for this client of mine, right? So we spent 2,253 on ad spend in the first 6 days of revenue, just from the ads alone, not the nurture sequence, which we'll touch on. The ROI has been 466%, right? And that number will start to get very, very crazy, because pretend that you've got at worst case, 5% close rate on 180 leads. That's like 6 leads, average value of a client. You can calculate that ROI number becomes very scary very quickly. And yeah, that's just the worst case scenario, and after 6 days. So I'm very excited to see where this number can go, give it a longer time. So then let's actually talk about the AI lead magnet creation process now. So let's actually talk about why this works, right? I'm going to leverage a study here by MIT. Don't take my word for it. Take the people who are actually researching these things. There was a study that said, if you respond to leads within the first 5 minutes of them interacting with the business, your chances of qualifying them increase by 21 times. That's ridiculous, right? So these people, these 180 leads, you'll be speaking to them immediately by giving them the immediate value which they came for, and then nurturing them in stages, right? And if you're 21 times more likely to qualify them, then your baseline of conversion starts to really increase from 5%, which the example which I showed you can look like 10% overnight based off of these actual studies which were done, right? And let's talk about another reason why this solution is so successful. It's because we're offering hyper-personalization at scale. If you break it down, people want advice and basically stuff that is tailor-made for them. They don't want generic advice that you can give to anyone. They want advice which will basically cut through all their pain points and solve their specific challenges. That's why consulting is a thing, right? It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's because people want specific answers to their specific questions. And typically, that can take a whole lot of time. And if you were to basically create a study guide for 180 people, you would still be on study guide number 5 by now, right? So that's what AI makes possible, the hyper-personalization at scale. And people like that. And when you leverage AI correctly, you can make sure that you mitigate all the what is AI slop, and you can give people actual value utilizing AI, right? So that's a few reasons why this solution is quite successful. So now let's get into the actual dynamics of the system and how it works, right? So let's talk about the AI lead magnet creation process. I'm going to break down this AI lead magnet creation process, and this is the exact scenario, this exact one right here, which I took a screenshot on, is the one that generated these 180 leads all automatically and gets them qualified, right? So basically we've got the Facebook leads ad form that basically triggers and will send all the information which the lead fills out. So after the lead fills out all the information, we put that into ChatGPT, right? And a whole lot of prompt engineering needs to go into this step to make sure that value is provided to every single person who fills out that form, right? And the way that we do that is we utilize years of industry knowledge, basically, and we give ChatGPT, who is basically has a master's in every single field, we give it a PhD in a specific field. So we took the study coach's experience and understanding exactly where to help students do the best in their studies, and he basically added that to the ChatGPT step, and we made sure that the output that it actually created aligned with what the study skills coach would create for every single lead who comes in the door. And then we basically create a lead magnet and send it off to email all automatically. And then we've got a whole other scenario which is connected to this, where we have a nurture sequence going ahead, and basically we're hitting exactly on the pain points which are surfaced in this initial node. And it's from days 1 to 7 they get hyper personalized, like we said, an email sequence which is specifically designed for every single lead. They get that every single day. This basically moves them closer towards the conversion process, right? And then we've also got link tracking set up and open rate tracking set up to basically make sure that we have a full overview of who's engaging the most and who's showing signals that they're ready to buy. So we've got 2 more scenarios attached to this one. I couldn't fit them in this video, otherwise it'd be way too long. But if you want a full deep dive onto those scenarios, just drop a comment down below and I'll get onto that ASAP. The additional scenario, right? That scenario makes sure we have a full finger on the pulse here. We're basically doing all the analytics tracking and the behavioral matching. So basically we can see the signals when the leads are most ready to buy. Because if we look at this, right, these are 180 leads, and say the average course Basically, this person's course ticket was 3,500 rand, and that's, if you do the math, that's 500,000 in potential revenue. Why would you let that go to waste? And because you didn't have the signals to actually like let you know who's ready to buy. Obviously, that's best case scenario, like all these 180 people have the money and everything. But yeah, I think it just really hits the point with why would you let that money go to waste. And then the second one is the fully customized email nurture sequence, where you basically create an email sequence designed for every single lead and get that sent out to them every single day. Just look at the bigger picture. I think it's safe to say that traditional lead generation is on a slight decline, right? And the reason I say that is because when you've got competitors and other companies basically generating leads at 40 Rand a lead and 5 Rand a lead, they can afford to outspend you on ads and basically take up all your competition and all your ad space. And they can reinvest all that money that they're saving, that extra, 44 Rand per lead, they can invest it right into the campaigns and basically reach a wider target audience, right? And generate more leads at a cheaper cost. It's just a growth flywheel for every single business. So that's why I say traditional lead generation is dead, right? And for the second reason why I think that traditional lead generation is slowly starting to become obsolete is because we're living in an economy where people expect things immediately. If you look at it, you can go into Amazon, you can go into Takealot, you can go into whatever platform you want to do online shopping, e-commerce. People love that option of same-day delivery. You go into Netflix, people can pick a video and it's already playing in 2 seconds. You go into YouTube, same thing. TikTok, same thing. We live in an economy where the faster you can give people what they want, the more leads and clients you'll have, right? If you give people what they want, they'll come in droves. That's just simple human dynamics, right? And if you utilize that in your marketing, you'll utilize that in your lead generation, you'll slowly start to have more leads than you can literally handle. And AI makes that possible. That's the beauty of this whole system, is because traditionally do this, it'll take you lots of time, lots of money, and lots of effort, but let AI handle all the effort for you, right? So with systems like this, you can go from inconsistent lead generation, inconsistent referrals, to a steady stream of leads, because you've got the leads, right? You can hit them up as many times as you want. They're your leads, unless they unsubscribe, of course. But you've always got that foundation. There's two types of audiences. There's owned audiences and there's rented audiences. This gives you the owned audience. Rented audiences are basically the audiences where I put a video up on YouTube. YouTube chooses who it shows it to. It can show it to my subscribers or it won't show it to my subscribers. Then you've got your owned audiences. These are the people who you have direct access to. And this is how you're going to get direct access to them, is you're going to offer them value first, right? People love value. Why would they not? And that's basically why the system is really beneficial to you and your business. And this system can easily generate 80 plus qualified leads every single month. I can even guarantee that. It's quite simple, because when you're offering value, people will sign up. And this is projected. This was 6 days. You got 180 leads. Let it run for the month in the same type of volume. You're going to give or take get 700 leads a month. How ridiculous, yeah. And if you paint a picture, that's an ROI of anywhere from 183% to 700% for every single client. This system makes that possible. So as mentioned, if you want me to implement something like this for your specific business, please hit that second link in the description down below, and we can look at how something like this could really work for you and tailor this whole thing to your specific business. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, maybe the bell icon too. Also drop a comment down below what your thoughts of this system are. We can discuss the future of lead generation together. I drop videos like this every single week where I highlight exactly where AI is making the biggest difference, because 180 leads in 6 days is no joke, guys. And I show solutions like this every single week. And if you want me to go into a deep dive into how to build out this whole solution, just hit those comments down below as well, and I'll get onto that straight away. So yeah, that is me for the video, guys. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.